Welcome. You're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another reading, another chapter read. The Fall of America. A book that was written by the minister Elijah Muhammad back in I think the book was published in 1973. As far as when it was written, you know what I mean, I would say that it's probably literature that has been written down since the minister started teaching, started spreading the word to the black community, awareness to the black community, about whom we pray to, about, our oppressors. You got what I'm saying? And please remember that your oppressor is not always a different skin color. Your oppressor is not always a different gender. You get me? Your oppressor can be your mama, can be your daddy, can be your brother, can be your neighbor. You feel me? Look, go to my YouTube channel. Excuse me. Only Faith Ministries. Like, subscribe, comment, share, run it up. You got what I'm saying? So far, those that's viewing, those that have subscribed, you're doing I thank you. I want to take this moment and I want to thank you for subscribing. Any number is a large number to me. You feel what I'm saying? Any number. It could be just one subscriber over there, and I thank you. You got what I'm saying? I thank you for wanting to come view it. I thank you for wanting to come listen. I thank you, especially if you're getting some education out of it and you're planting seeds. You feel me? Anyway, let's get back into this reading. And this is from the Washington, D.C. speech that was held in 1959. Look at Christianity. That law is killed. Why? Because the devil did not want you to strike back at him. Therefore, they condemned an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth in their Christian religion, because 20 million so-called Negroes might get an eye for an eye. I'm going to read that again. You understand me? I want to read that once again because, see, that was a time I lived eye for an eye. You feel me? And then I had to wake up and I had to realize, I said, hold up, there got to be a contradiction in the Bible because we're measured from our deeds. So what? If somebody do something to me and I go back out there and do it to them, my sin is erased? My sin is overlooked? That's not how I see sin. That's not how I view sin. Let's read this from the top again. Look at Christianity. That law is killed. Why? Because the devil did not want you to strike back at him. Therefore, they condemned an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth in their Christian religion, because 20 million so-called Negroes might get an eye for an eye. Now, peep this out. The minister Elijah Muhammad come after Christ. You got what I'm saying? AD, after Christ. Not before Christ, after Christ. You got me? So, what I'm going to say this to you right here. What I read in the New Testament says that it's okay eye for eye. My common sense tells me it's not okay, so I don't do it. You feel me? You get me? I don't care it as far as where that I'm going to be vindictive. You feel me? I may say some words because I don't like what was done. You feel me? You got me? But there are things that I know to overlook. There are things I know not to go over that boundary, because see, now you're sinning. Now you're putting yourself in a position where the whom you pray to is looking at you different. Let's go and get back into this read. That is nothing but the common law of justice. If you pluck out my eye, I should try and pluck out yours. But you have been made such harmless slaves by the teaching of a slavery religion called Christianity, which teaches you to love, not to strike back, but to turn the other cheek. It teaches you to give freedom to the robber. If he takes one's coat, then give him the cloak also. Help the robber to rob, enrich the thief. That is the kind of religion that you are taught to believe. Now, I will say this because I just said it, you know what I mean, and I'm going to say it again. What I read in the New Testament is that you can do eye for an eye. You got what I'm saying? You can do tooth for a tooth. It tells you, let's do this. You feel what I'm saying? So, what I'm reading now is from The Fall of America, the book that was written by Elijah Muhammad, and he's saying that the Christianity law bans that, tells the black, community not to do this because of the slave masters want us to be, you know what I mean, want us to be, what's that word? Want us to be submissive. You got what I'm saying? So what I'm going to say to you is this again. This book right here was written by King James. And I'm going to say it to you again. Either King James put trickery in here or King James left the fruit in here. And we all know King James wrote this over for King James' game. That's why they say the Holy Bible is tainted. Every religious book you read has some taint in it, has some stank in it because of man. You feel me? Man, M-A-N. So use your common sense to filter the BS. Let's go and get back into this read. That is the kind of religion that you are taught to believe, that is God's religion. I said, my friends, it is a slavery teaching. It is against the very nature of you and me to stand and let someone smite us on one side of the cheek, and then we turn with enough love. I would say cowardice in us, the unsmoked cheek to the smitter. Now, it does, it does tell you, you know what I mean? It does tell you in the New Testament to, you know what I mean, turn the other cheek. It tells you that throughout the whole Bible, Old and New Testament, you should turn the other cheek. You should walk away. It explains to you that you're measured by your deeds. So that's why I say to you, there's a boundary, there's a limit for you to go. And sometimes it ain't for you to go where they went. It may be for you to just touch the fence, not sit on the fence. Let them sit on the fence. You go touch it. You feel what I'm saying? And then go on ahead and boogie on up out there. You feel me? The Christian government, no. America can't do it. When America's cheek is struck by an enemy, excuse me, she prepares her army to strike back. The Christian government of America can't do it. The Pope of Rome can't do it. If you and I don't wake up to that knowledge and execute the law of an eye for an eye, we might as well be dead and forgotten. You get me? Dead and forgotten. And see, that's the thing, I say this, right? When Minister Elijah Muhammad was living and was the head of the Islam community, you know what I mean? Racism was in the world real thick. You feel me? So the anger this man has inside of him, back in the 50s, you know what I mean? It's totally different than the anger we should have in us in the now, in the new millennium. The things they went through back then, you haven't even went through that yet. You have not went through it yet. You have not went through the police department. This your police department calling your neighborhood fire department to spray you with the hoses. Do you know how much pressure is on that water? You ain't went through that. You ain't went through none of that. None of it. You get me? You have not went through getting beat with a whip. You may take some language from white people, you feel what I'm saying, from your oppressor that you don't like. But what is language? What is really language? You feel me? What you have just showed me that there's something about me you are jealous about. There's something you see in me that you know I'm getting ready to achieve, so you want to help me destroy it before I can achieve it. You feel me? So what I say to you is this right here, you know what I mean? Understand when there's pressure upon you, it's a test. Either you're gonna break or you're gonna eat it and build you something from it. Let's go and get back in this reading. It is better for you and me. Hold on, give me a second. It is better for you and me to just go and commit suicide than for the enemy to come in our homes and drag us down, drag our daughters out, beat, lynch, and rape them while we stand by looking. If you and I are deprived of justice, if the federal government will not punish our murderers and our rapers, I say to you, we must get together and find some way to punish them ourselves. In the case of a recent lynching in Mississippi, the government agents spent a lot of time trying to find the lynched body to show that he had been lynched. It would have been easier to find the murderers than the dead body, according to the papers. That is all you and I have to go by. The government knows the lynchers, but since finding the lynchers, according to the papers, they have turned the lynchers over to the judges of their own native state and court. Then they will be freed, as all the other lynchers of our people have been freed. Peep this, that's the end of that. And what we're gonna do, you know, we're gonna make sure that, you know, we practice what we preach. We're going to make sure that we pass along the things that need to be passed along and only elaborate or touch down on the things that don't need to be passed along, so that our babies can understand how to walk in this world. And another thing I want to, you know, speak on, because of what Elijah Muhammad spoke about, is that when are we going to stand up and lynch these people back and blah this and blah that? You know, the reason I love the Black Panthers, the reason I fall up under their teachings more than anything, when you're dealing with these streets, when you're dealing with this government of ours, is because they were doing things peacefully. When it resulted to the Black Panthers having to show some action, they had the law to back them. You feel me? Laws was changed because of how the Black community used the laws against their own police department, their own, you know, they used the laws against them. And what I'm basically saying to you is this right here. You know, there's things this government owes us. There are things this government has to give to us on an everyday basis, where that if you're a Black man being oppressed, if you are a Black community feeling that you're oppressed, go get you a lawyer or go to the law library and figure out how to go into Congress, how to go into these courtrooms and speak and get what you need in the black community. It's not hard. You feel me? There are people sitting around you that know how intelligent you are, but I'm not going to tell you, come on, I'm going to take you on down to the library. They're going to say, no, I'm going to go on, come on, let me take you to the gun store. Come on, let me take you to Billy Bob on the corner, get you a gun, and we're going to go shoot this person, and nothing been changed but your life. Now your life is a train wreck. You feel me? Think. Use your brain. Use your brain. Don't be a pawn when you were put in this world to be a queen or a king. You feel me? Anyways, please go to my YouTube channel, Only Faith Ministries. Like, share, subscribe, comment. And look, once again, I am the Nasty Pastor. And if don't nobody else love you, I do. I'm out, and I check you later.